Here's what I like. Laying on the beach with sunlight in my eyes, laughing with my friends under the sky, following our hearts so then we take a ride. Wherever, I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to...
Hi folks, I want to talk a little bit about the EOS M6 Mark II. It just came out recently and I find it an excellent camera. Now I have a lot of experience with Canon cameras. It used to be back in the day, you were either a Nikon shooter or a Canon shooter. And I picked Canon. Now in today's market you have all sorts of other options to choose from. You have things like Sony and Fujifilm and things like that. I still happen to think Canons are the best. I like the color science. I like my Canons. I've had a lot of Canons. I started with not the original EOS Rebel, but the one after that, which is the 6 megapixel digital camera. And there's kind of a funny story with that because I bought the camera and the snotty person at Ritz said, I think these cameras are just toys. It wasn't but a couple weeks, so I brought pictures back to get developed. And she said, these are really great. What equipment did you use? And I told her my 6 megapixel Canon Rebel and whatever lens I had at the time, which was probably a kit lens. I find the camera excellent. I find the focus excellent. I'm looking at the eye detect now. It's detecting my eye. It's rock solid. Now for 14 frames per second, when you're taking photos, that is blistering fast. That's much faster than any camera I've had. And I've had, I had my EOS M70, or excuse me, my D70, my 5D I've had. So I've had a lot of cameras. Right now I have this huge backpack that I used to carry around with me, but as I age, I'm kind of tired of carrying this big backpack. Inside here I have my Canon camera that I use primarily. This is my 70D. And then I bought an EOS M100. And I honestly thought that was good, but the thing that was missing on that was that it had no mic input. So I couldn't do YouTube videos, and I thought this was almost perfect for that. But I got it anyway, and I've loved it. It's a good camera. Now the EOS M6 Mark II does have a mic input, but it also has all the features of my 70D, sorry, just want to make sure I got it right. Plus it has some features that my 70D doesn't have. For one, I can set a minimum shutter speed so I won't get motion blur when I want to set my ISO to auto, and I don't want to have to worry about it. I'm always setting my ISO to a specific level and then I forget about it. And the nice thing about this is I can leave the ISO on auto and I can set a minimum shutter speed. For example, this is a 15 I'm using right now, 15 to 45. I've set it to 1/25th of a second, which is faster than the focal length of my lens. So I shouldn't ever get motion blur when I'm taking photos. So that's great. Now I've done some macro work in the past, and this camera actually has focus bracketing, which none of my other Canon cameras have had, or any of my cameras in general. Now when I'm taking a macro, often I'll get the first part of the, let's say I'm taking the insect, I'll get the first part sharp and then the rest will be blurry. And what this allows you to do is take the first one and then it's going to step the focus. And then you can use software to edit your photos and to put it all into one so that the head is focused and the wings are focused, for example. And I just find the camera absolutely excellent. I'm not an expert on video. I do use my cameras to take video for YouTube. But I'm not an expert, and I'll let the people talk about that. They'll talk about 4K and this and that. I usually do 1080. Now what I also like about this camera is I can do fast, high-speed video with this camera in full 1080 mode, which I couldn't do with my other Canon cameras. So I really think that the camera is fantastic. I like it. It's got a 32 megapixel sensor. And I see, with my eyes, I see a little improvement. I thought these were good, both these, but I do see a little improvement. Now it is only a kit lens, and some will say for you to see the 32 megapixels and for it to really shine, you'll have to have good lenses on there. Now I happen to think the 22 millimeter Pancake Lens is pretty good. That's very sharp. And they also have, I think it's a 35 millimeter lens that's 1.4 f, and I think that's also very good. Now, they also have a macro lens for this mount, and it's in 28 millimeter. Now I'd like to see 100 millimeter, but to be honest, to do some macro work, let me see if I can find them. I have these photo tubes, these extension tubes for my 70D. I don't know why I keep having to look at the camera. I've been using it for a long time. But anyway, it's an excellent camera, and I really like it. And it's also easy to hold on to. It's easier than my EOS 100, which is small, but it doesn't have this grip on the side. So it's not really a problem. It doesn't really slip out of my hands because I normally hold it like this. But for the body of this camera, the EOS Mark II, EOS M6 Mark II, excuse me, is excellent. Thanks for watching.
Give you a struggle if you're looking for trouble. I am the needle who will push your bubble, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna fight pieces, but I'm not backing down. So if you're looking for trouble, you better come on, I will give you a struggle.
Okay folks, so this is the EOS M6 Mark II. And it's a crisp day today. Yesterday it was 72 and then we had a storm move in. And right now I'm using the kit lens on the EOS M6 Mark II. So this is a video quality. You can see it looks a little overexposed in some spots, but it's pretty dark back here. It looks pretty good. The sun is setting right now. I'm going to try it with the 22 Pancake Lens. I think it's f2. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay folks, and here's the 22 millimeter f2 Pancake Lens, which I think is a pretty good lens, so it should show off the 32 megapixels of this camera. Sorry, I have to look where I'm going. But I am right now at f2. The sun is setting, like I said, and it's pretty dark here. Let me just show you the line of the trees over there, so you can get an idea of what it is and what's going on. So anyway, like I said, it's the f22, and this is what it looks like. And I do have electronic image stabilization turned on right now because this lens does not have any stabilization. So this is how it looks.
Here's what I like. Laying on the beach with sunlight in my eyes, laughing with my friends under the sky, following our hearts, so then we take a ride wherever. I always try to let my spirit fly, fly away. That's the only way to get that high, high, away. If you're looking for trouble, you better count on it. I will give you a struggle, give you a struggle. If you're looking for trouble, here's what I like. Jumping from a roof that is almost too high, laying on the grass, I close my eyes.